line, and here goes the nuke. It's sent it. My aircrafts go out. We have this amazing map with all this eco, and I picked this spot at the top. You're probably wondering, why would you pick this spot here? The possibility for expanding is so little. Well, me and my opponent picked the same spots repeatedly, and I ended up with this spot. So at this point we instantly meet each other once again, and I know I'm in trouble. I'm already boxed in. I'm gonna have to do something really quickly. So I start off with a few eco buildings, some barracks and some factories, and we quickly take out these men, and now I can see he's already claiming these positions. So I knew I had to do something, right? I need to set up a defensive system and figure out a way how I'm going to beat him without having the economy that he's going to have, because he has all this expansion abilities now, and I'm kind of locked in this little piece of the map. So I don't have any energy, so I send men out this way to get some energy, and I send men out this way very quickly to just claim at least this entire little city thing. And here his men is setting up defenses. Our men is pushing forward, but I pull them back and set up my own defenses just so that we can be a little bit more safe at the start, and at least get something build up our military force before we go out at them. I build a airfield, but I don't use my airfield instantly. I just want them ready to go to war. And now we put our first power supplier down, and we can see his factories being built here. We don't know where exactly he started, but we know it had to be somewhere close to here. And now at the start his eco is going to be a little bit slower than ours, right? But as soon as he starts to expand, it's going to increase significantly compared to our eco. So I had to make moves quickly to get out of this situation. And he already has quite a few men, as you can see. My men are starting to move this way, but it's nothing compared to his. And it looks like he's going to attack almost instantly. And then he kind of pulls back and hold back a little bit. You see his men turning around. Now I built a barracks up here as well, just to kind of get this defensive line set up as well. Now there's no more fighting. We are just both building our defensive line, as you can see. And while we are doing this, I continue to try and get more eco, because I knew I was gonna be behind on eco compared to him. Now we've built on all of our eco spots at this point, except for this one, which I'll build on in a little bit. And that's basically all that we are going to have for this entire match, compared to he's basically going to have the rest of the map. And there I finally built the final town, and our defensive line is kind of set now. He has a big defensive line and have already, if I look at this, he has a little bit more units than I do, I think, at this point. We don't know what's going on back here, but it seems like it. I was wondering, how am I going to make an impact having less men and less eco? I decided to send some men down this way, because I figured he's probably gonna try and flank me. So I wanted to just get some eyes down here and try and get this little town as well. And I've built some interceptors, and at some point I start to build some anti-air. I see he has some anti-air. So I'm not flying my aircraft yet, my jets, my interceptors, just because I don't want them to die and use that eco to build more of them. I'm kind of just holding them in reserve, but also figured I'm gonna need something big, a big impact, and that's why I built a missile, a nice nuke. This is the start. We're gonna have to obviously wait. It's so expensive and take some time, but I figured if I can get that and I can lob it right here in the middle before he sends one, I will have an opportunity to kind of attack on him before he can do anything to me. Now we have a good amount of artillery and tanks and some infantry, and we have a nice defensive line. I don't know if he can see all of my units with the forest, but I think so, since he's on a mountain. Now we also only have one power supplier, and we had 30, which is also a bit of a problem. So I also want this one, but I first wanted to set up my defensive line. So as soon as we capture this, I'm going to place another one on that spot, just so that we can, this is basically all energy that we can produce. And now he definitely has more men than I do, so I'm just hoping he doesn't have a nuke or he attacks me before my nuke's built. I also placed a second air airfield to build strikers with which I can attack the tanks and the buildings and so forth. Now there's a little bit of conflict down here. That's just because my units keep moving from this defensive line, and I don't know why they did that, but that happened. Guys, if you like this video, I know there's not much have happened yet, but trust me, it's about to go down. Hit the subscribe button, maybe just hit the like button. I'd appreciate it a lot. Thank you. The nuke's starting to build. It's getting built now. So now it's just the waiting game, hoping he doesn't attack before then. We built some anti-air. I was scared of his bombers coming through and taking out my things. That's also why I have the interceptors this quick in the match. And now our nuke is almost finished. And this is where things get real interesting. We have some anti-air. We have some good amount of tanks. We have a really good line, and here goes the nuke. It's sended. My aircrafts go out. Boom! And we take out quite a few of his men, and this was my opportunity. I disabled the defensive lines and we attack. I didn't want them to capture anything. I just wanted them to attack the enemy and take them out. We have our aircrafts moving in. We have so many units just going at it. He moves a lot of his units this way. We're also going to disable this on this side to attack from here. And now there's so many units going at it at this point. We kill this off. Now we still have this defensive line, but it's going to get disabled soon. Our military keeps moving. There we go. This side's now going off onto the attack. Now we start to run out of energy because there's so many tanks and things moving now, but it's fine. We are making the impact we wanted at this point. We are also going to build another power source on this point, but look at this. Look at all these units fighting now. This is so amazing. This game is amazing. It was quiet, and all of a sudden there's just this big military battle going on. Here come some of his helicopters. But we have anti-air, we have the anti-air on the ground, and also the interceptors. On this side, we have they are still in defensive positions, but we have a lot of tanks on this side that can push through that. And look at that, from that nuke, we've made a nice dent to his forces, and we've already pushed down the right flank all the way down this way. And now we're moving on to this little hill, and just like that, he's in trouble. And he definitely had more eco than we had. Now we can see all of his factories, and that's what I want. I want this factories to get taken out so that he can't reinforce. And look, we've cleared the left flank as well now, pushing down on him, pinching him almost here in the middle. And with that, there's even more forces coming down from the top. What a battle. What an absolute battle. We've pushed so far at this point. He only has some anti-air and some artillery left, and now I've set my airplanes to come and take out these factories in an assist with the ground forces. We've taken out the first one, continuing to push up. Now there's even more factories back here. Will it be enough? Here's his airfield, and look at all that progress we've made. Now our jets are still coming in. We are barely coming through with our power at the moment, with only one power source. And look at that, we've pushed all this way. We're on this hilltop now, destroying building after building. We've pushed up quite the way. It seems like he haven't even expanded this way yet. I'm not sure if that's just because of the fog of war. Now we spot a second airfield, and it seems like he didn't build this too long ago because there's not a lot of units on it. But here we go, we push over this mountaintop, ready for the next amount of factories. Now I set this line back to conquer so that they can take this land, so that I can build on these spots. So these guys are still moving forward quickly. These are starting to capture now. And now we are going after these factories with quite a force still, but we've also lost a lot of men. And now we can see he did in fact capture this on the left side. We continue to move up. I want my men to split off into two sections. And then I see he's built some factories on this side, so I needed to split them off even thinner. He sent some boats this way, which doesn't influence me too much. And now my jets are taking out this. We've killed a lot of these factories. But as you can see, our numbers have also gone down quite a bit, but we have way more than he does at this point. And we just keep pushing through. They start to split up into different segments now, different tunes or whatever. Some of them going to the right, some of them going to the left, continuing this assault. Now I see he has a town here and barracks on this point, but you haven't used this eco yet. And on this side we have some tanks pushing in now from the left, and we also do not have quite as many men. And now on this side, we can see he have captured some positions here, and he's already moved all the way to this point and to this point. And this was scary. This was really scary. I have no defenses on this side, and this is my only 2 power sources. And you can see there's quite a military influence from him on the right side. Now on this side, he has all of a sudden a bunch of tanks and a bunch of artillery just coming in from nowhere, and my units are getting thinned out, split up into 2 directions. And this also now all of a sudden didn't look very well. This didn't look good at all, but I continue to push. These guys have pushed quite away. Now this side's kind of looking thin. Look at this, just tanks keep coming in on this side, and now on the right side we are in trouble. He has quite the force on this side, and I have no defenses on this side. I don't even think at this point I was paying attention to this. And also here we have taken a lot of casualties now. He's basically wiped out our forces over there. We still have some that's on this point. I wanted them to split off into 2, and some of them come back this way, and the rest go and try and stop this madness. Look at this. Look at this flank. What a flank. He's taking out my energy. That's my only source of energy. And now all of his tanks and artillery have really taken out my men. I think I've split them too thin, and there goes the power. We have no more power. Our planes land, our tanks are standing still. There's no power left. I thought this game was in my hand. I mean, I thought it was basically my game to lose after that nuke, that beautiful nuke. And now he's pushing into my city from the flank. The units on this side have been killed off. We have quite a few still left on this side of this little dam, and I had to try and get them back into the fight, but I wanted them to take out this as soon as they can. We also have an airfield here with interceptors, but look at this. Everything's standing still because we have no power left. They've taken out our power and all of our tanks, everything's standing still now. Try to set up a defensive line here, but I mean, look at this. There's no more units really left, and these guys are pushing up against this mountain top. These guys have killed some factories and barracks on this side, and look at this. He haven't used any of this eco yet. These guys meet some men on this little hilltop, and you can just, at this point, you can see that he had a lot more forces than what was on this defensive line, because they just keep coming from out of nowhere. We can see a lot of more factories on this side, and I couldn't understand where all these units were coming from all of a sudden. And they've pushed so far on this side. I tried to defend off some of them, but tanks, everything's standing still. Only my infantry can move. And now we start to build another nuke, which was a waste of eco. I should have disabled this building, but I forgot about it. And look at them. There's basically nothing standing in their way at this point. There's no units left down here. And he also moved his other forces, his tanks, to come and take out the remaining few on this little mountain. And these guys are still pushing up. Now we can see where that military strength was coming from that pushed into our flank. It was from these buildings, and now they've pushed up so far, and once again we are at the disadvantage. We were going so well, it was going so well, we pushed beautifully, and now our units are dying off slowly. There's no power to assist the tanks or even get the tanks to move. They just sit here, and these forces just keep pushing in. We do not have a lot of infantry, and a lot of our infantry still have to defend on this side. They start to take out the airfield, which is useless at this point. Now they just push into our city, and tanks, artillery, you name it, it's coming down. And what a comeback from this guy. What a comeback from him. I think it was beautiful. I think it was an amazing match. He's just killing my base off, and unfortunately I threw this one away. I think I did the best with what I had. I didn't have nearly as much eco as he had. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hit the thumbs up. Maybe watch the next video that's gonna pop up. See you guys on the next one. Cheers.